This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today we're here at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the action. Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
We've got a big golf course in front of us today. Robert Trent Jones II designed this golf course really to fit in with these marvelous surroundings. But consequently, we have like what I would call almost an inland links. It's going to play like that. Ideally, you'd like to play this golf course through the air, but it's very exposed to the elements.
So we're ready to get the round going here at Chambers Bay, and we'll begin, Frank, at the first with a par 4.
496 yards, obviously that'll stretch anybody out there. That bunker down the right is very much in play. The fairway does narrow out too, just short of that. So this really is going to require one of your best tee shots. Semi-blind second shot, a relatively big green. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up, get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
Second shot, good look at the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. On the green. And a chance for birdie here on the first hole. This one just requires a little bit of focus. -1 in the early going. Ready to tee off here at the second. Frank, what's it all about?
Well, you hit your tee shot here through the dunes, Rich, not overly long, just under 400 yards. The bunker on the left really shouldn't be a problem. Just avoid the dunes on the right and left.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Frank, what's the best way to access the hole location on this second shot here at the second hole at Chambers Bay?
Well, Rich, it's really set up with a drive. If you can drive it down the right side, you get a better view. Plus, you can avoid that ridge that's in the middle of the green on the left side. If you're coming in from the left side, that bunker on the right, now you realize why they put that there. Because when you've got a skirt to the right of that ridge, that second shot becomes a little more difficult.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
Did the job right there. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners. Well, if you can call them corners, more like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Clean this up with a tap. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Just a couple of feet. One under early in the round. Frank, here on the fourth tee, you get a good look, don't you, at what Chambers Bay really is all about.
It's framed beautifully, Rich, by the bunkers there, left, short, off the tee, plus the ones down the right side. You can see everything in front of you, but the hole does bend to the right. This is another one where you've got a generous fairway, but don't be fooled by that. It's fairway first.
Tough par 4 measuring 495 yards. Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball's sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
Frank, what's the best play here on this second shot at the fourth hole?
Obviously, if you can reach, you should still go for it. The bunker, that sort of short right and wraps around that right side, actually is there to help you. There's nothing wrong with that second shot catching the ridge and going back in there. But, a good one that kicks straight, chance for eagle.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Settles in over the putt. Collects another birdie with that stroke and goes to 2 under. Well, Frank, here at the fifth, and I'm not sure about my chances at a hole that's called free fall. I mean, are you kidding?
Well, should be free fall for you, that's for sure, and free fall for a lot of people playing it today. Hole looks straight away, but you'll see it starts to pinch in, that fairway that is, by bunkers left and right, and those bunkers come in exactly where you're trying to hit your tee shot.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Now the approach shot here at the fifth hole at Chambers Bay, and how difficult is this?
Well, it looks straightforward, but the second shot, once again, just semi-blind. You've got to be very aware of that little central bunker that's just short of the green, because you're either going to have to go over it or around it.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well done. Back-to-back birdies. Getting set to hit the tee shot here at the sixth at Chambers Bay. Frank, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee here?
There's a nice dune down that left side that sort of gives you a good line that you can work the ball off here. But remember, this is a link. Oh, he is winding this one up. Does he have the power?
He's just burning rubber right here. I mean, this one is taking off like a missile.
Just destroyed it. He's going to try and rip the cover off it. Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, boy, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. Looks good. Chance to make a birdie.
And this will be fine. Just a little left of the flag.
On the dance floor here at the sixth, but still a pretty hard putt coming up, about 30 feet away. Frank, 2 is nice, but
3 is even better.
Frank, he might like this one. He might like... Oh, he's going to love it. Great putt. Frank, this is a daunting challenge. The seventh hole, long par 4. It's over 500 yards.
A huge bunker down the right side that probably runs for a good 200-300 yards. Obviously, that's to be avoided. And then, of course, there's the mounds and the hummocks and the dunes and that on the left side. That's the reason, really, why this hole's called humpback. But a little bit like the golf course, there's only one greenside bunker to be worried about, but enough green left of that. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Frank, getting set for this approach shot. Our featured golfer is a player, it's obvious, in full flight right now.
It is. This is where it doesn't matter what the sport is, and golf is a great example for it, though, where when you play your best, it's almost like you're just playing out of your subconscious. Everything happens, it just flows, and you don't really think about it.
Solid play, heart of the green. Could use this, a putt for par. And he makes it for par. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realize that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage.
Good tee shot, right in the short grass. And from the fairway for his second shot here. No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. And getting ready for the putt. So close. Frankie had to make a run at that one.
Oh, yeah, good effort. Let's see if he can make birdie, but Oda put an eagle on the scorecard. What that would have meant to him.
Wow, a fifth birdie on the day. Frank, the 9th hole is called Olympus. Feels as though Russell Crowe should be standing on the tee, starring in some sort of a movie about the Greek gods.
I knew you'd go like Titans and that down here. But this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich. This isn't for the Greek gods and the Titans of the world. They might think they are, but this is for you and me. This is for everybody. 36 handicappers. We can all play here. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Second shot coming out of the rough here. And he's made it onto the green. "21 feet from pay dirt." How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
That puts them at 4 under for the round. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
And look at this. Look at all the power in that coil.
That's a ginormous tee shot.
All right, Frank, what's the best way to approach the 10th?
Well, this is probably the flattest green on the golf course, Rich, and really, if you miss this green, you've made a mistake. There's no two ways about it. It's probably the most predictable second shot you're going to have on the golf course.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Frank, you know what gets me about this game? Here a person makes a legitimate effort, makes a good stroke, and that ball spins around and is just laughing at the player. And now what's left, you could breathe on that ball. It counts the same as a 300-yard drive. It's not right.
But it's the beauty of the game.
Stepping up to the tee here at the 11th, Frank.
Yeah, it looks straightforward. You'll see a big dune in the middle of the fairway. You can really take that out of play. Get it down there as far as you can. You're going to need to. And then from there on in, it's really just trying to find out exactly where you want to land that second shot so that you can get it on the right level.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. The 11th hole, Frank, what's the right way to get at it?
Just got to be cognizant of that ridge that cuts through the middle of this green that sort of turns this green into one simple green and all these little complex sort of sections. That's the biggest thing, but that's also, you realize very, very quickly, you're playing links golf today. It just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
And he's made the green. Did the job right there. The 12th here at Chambers Bay is known as the Narrows. What's the play here, Frank?
Two, really. You could just sort of iron it down there, have a little wedge or a pitch in there with no sweat whatsoever. Or, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you can drive it over that bunker that's just short left of this green, you might just putt for an eagle.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Frank, when you say reachable par 4, you think 3 immediately, birdie. But still, a little bit of work to do here to put that 3 on the card.
And some creativity needed here. This isn't just grab your lob wedge. This is really see what's in front of you, all these undulations, these mounding. You could really play some of the shots around the greens with 5 or 6 clubs in your bag.
exceptional shot right there, Frank.
Oh, you start beating your chest after a shot like that. That's the best we've seen into this hole to date.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Starting to move in the right direction. 5 under after that made putt. 13th hole now. It's a dogleg right, par 4. Frank?
But at 534 yards, you need an eagle eye, which is the name of the hole, to find exactly where you want to hit this. Doglegs to the right. There is a fairway that's plenty wide to accept a good tee shot. And then from there on in, it's actually a relatively straightforward second shot, providing you can miss that bunker that's just short in the middle of the green.
So another good result, playing this one as it should be played, right down the middle, in the fairway. Now playing the second here at the par 4. This is a good-looking shot. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. This from about 10 feet. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, this is the 5th par 4 in a row, and they're not easy. This one here at 14, really a daunting tee shot.
It is. That's why it's called Cape Fair, a true Cape hole in golf, Rich, is when you've got to decide how much you want to bite off when you hit across a slight dogleg. And this one, really, you're going to be rewarded the further left you can go. There is one little bunker in the middle of the fairway that you have to avoid. That's going to be 320 or so yards off the tee. This hole, 546 yards, you're going to see a variety of second shots, or the length of second shots here, determined purely by the bravery of the tee shot.
Split the fairway with that. Just a gorgeous swing. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Frankie seems to have found something. Already 2 birdies in a row and now another chance.
Yeah, it's all starting to flow here. This is really important. He's starting to play well. So finish it off here for 3 in a row.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Settles in over the putt. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace. It's hard to be critical of that.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15. It's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in a US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
Pure strike, good result.
Right, and that is close.
This is an 11-foot putt.
Starting to put something special together. 6 under par.
Now to the 3-hole finishing stretch here at Chambers Bay, and we get it started with a relatively short par 4. It's a 423-yard hole, the 16th, Frank.
Bend slightly to the right. There's a huge bunker all the way down the right side that sort of starts, I don't know, maybe about 100 yards off the tee, goes all the way to the green. You go right, and then you realize why this hole is called beached.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Frank, what's the danger here on the approach to the 16th, considering the green is really pretty small?
Well, obviously it's a short par 4, so you know that the problem's going to happen up ahead, and that's exactly what it does. This is probably one of the smallest, narrowest greens at Chambers Bay. And you can see it slopes dramatically from left to right. That has to be taken into consideration with the second shot.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Eyeing this putt for a birdie. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Just 2 holes left to play. Now a par 3, the 17th, 218 yards and all sorts of trouble, Frank, down that right.
Well, if you weren't beached at the 16th, then there's a chance you can be derailed, which is what this hole's called, at 17. Difficult par 3, you can see the bunker there in front, and once again, wind conditions. This is going to probably require one of the best tee shots, especially in the closing stages of the US Open.
Birdie try up next. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A 3rd straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Wow, I can't believe he found the cup on that one.
Clean up on aisle 5. Rich, I once asked Tom Weiskopf, I was really young, I said, who's the greatest putter you've ever seen? And I thought the answer was going to be Ben Crenshaw, Billy Casper, even my fellow countryman Bob Charles. And he sort of shook it off and he said, that's the easiest questions anyone's ever asked me. It's Jack Nicklaus. I'm like, Jack Nicklaus was this great player, hit the ball far and high and all that. And I said, well, why would you say he's a great putter? He said, well, when you hit a shot to 30 feet on just about every hole, and you never look at a makeable putt. But the first one you get, the first 10-footer, you just bury it straight in the middle of the hole. He said, that's a great putter. He said, when you watch Nicklaus's career over the years, time and time again, he wouldn't have a makeable putt. Take 2 putts, take 2 putts. But when he had one, the first one he looked at, he knocked it in. And he said, that is what a great putter does.
He made them when it mattered. 18 times to win major championships, it mattered for Jack. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Safely aboard. Locked in on the read and the speed. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count, and that is 9 under for the day. Really good round out there today. What's the mindset, Frank, to keep it going?
First thing, really, Rich,